Hi, it's Lucy here and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you've come to watch this video as I think this is a really great idea that will enhance any type of cards like this. You want to glue down your die cuts flat on your card or any embellishments? I'm going to show you how easy it is to add a bit of dimension and really take the card to the next level. And I'm using this die set today from In Love Arts, and also I'll be drawing the 3 winners of the $15 vouchers in this video too. I'm also going to be using one of my really old paper pads today. This one is called Cardmaking Ooh La La, and you may have it in your stash, but you can use any papers. I suggest smaller papers with a small print on them so they look like little gift boxes, patterns. But whether you use your stash or buy new papers, it's all good and it's totally up to you. I'm going to use the white and orange floral paper for my gift boxes and use the orange paper for the lids. I'll pop the whole die set through my electronic die cutting machine a couple of times, once with the pattern paper and once with the orange paper. And any of the items that I don't use, I'll add behind others to add more dimension to the other die cuts. And if that's confusing, don't worry, you'll see as we go along shortly. And what I was just showing before, then on the die cutting machine, it actually has a little compartment underneath so that you can keep all your favorite dies or anything like that. I think I've spoken about it before, but I don't think I've actually opened it on video. So I just thought I'd add that in while I remember. I do have links to all the products that I'm using today as well, including the electronic die cutting machine and the magic mat from scrapbook.com, which I really enjoy using as well. So this is all very easy, but perhaps not as quick as most of my card ideas. It's very lovely for special cards though. You could add a snowman or a little dog next to her as well. It can be used for any occasion, which I think is great. I think a traditional red and green Christmas card will look so good too, especially if you had a fireplace background paper or something similar to really create a beautiful warm scene. We'll make all the gift boxes uniform on this card so you can see both ways and decide which you like best. But because the floral print is different on each gift box, it does give a different look to each of them anyway. Say you were to use stripes or something, that would look sweet too, but I would definitely use a monochrome lid for those gifts as well so that they were easily recognizable as gifts and not just 4 striped squares. So as you can see, I'm gluing the doubles together. This way I'm using up items that would have gone in the bin, plus it'll give more weight to the gift boxes. You don't need to do this if you want to make quicker cards. And then I'm going to add the lids to the boxes, and I found the best way to make sure that the lids are on evenly and straight is to glue them, then turn it over to see how much of the lid is overlapping and making it even on all of the sides. Then I'll add the acrylic block to them after gluing together to make sure they glue together well and flat. This gift box has holes in it, so you can choose any colour to go underneath it. So all I'm going to do is cut around a piece of scrap white paper and I'll have that underneath. I don't need any other special colours, but you really could go gold or some sort of metallic colour, which would look really pretty too. The holes are really tiny, so you can just leave it without anything underneath it as well. So here's where the magic happens. I'm going to use my knife to roll her skirt and create a lovely roundness to it. You can use a pen or anything tubular in shape. I'm sure you'll have something on your craft table to use to bend items like this. I chose this brown paper as it has a glossy textured feel to it and it'll work perfectly with the boots too. There's a crease in the skirt, so I'm folding that part slightly as well. I'm curving all the layers separately as it's easier to get a smooth curve with one paper rather than 3 sheets glued together that make creases in the curves. So if you're short on time, you can again just use one layer and only curl that over. I'm just showing the extras and you decide how far you want to go on your card. You can also use thin tubular items like my trusty lollipop stick to give smaller parts dimension. So I'll use it on the sides of the skirt and also for the boots and legs. My craft knife is too wide. It's best to use a thin tubular item for this, or if you don't have one, once you've created a curve, you can adjust it with your fingers. I love doing this with flowers too. I've done a few videos using this technique on florals, but not on die cuts like this so far, so I thought I'd share it today. While I'm curling everything, I'll let you know this die set is only $10 Australian or $5.99 US or £5. How cute is it to have in your stash? So cheap too. When I chose this die set, I thought it was just the gift boxes. I didn't realise you got the skirt and legs as well. I have another card at the end that is made with just pattern paper. That's another card design idea with gifts on it too. And I do have a discount code for you all as well, which is 25% off if you use the code Lucy25, and I'll have that in the description below next to the link to the In Love Art store. But 25% off is pretty good, isn't it? And they always have sales as well, so you can use whichever is the best. So I'm just adding the legs to the boots here, and I probably used a little bit too much glue. You don't need too much, but I want to make sure that they stay together as well. Oh my gosh, how cute is that with the little skirt and boots? I just love it. And now I've decided I'm going to curl the bows as well that are going to go on the top of the gift boxes. And so I'll double them up as well just to give them a little bit of extra dimension because they're pretty thin. I won't be able to put any foam tape or anything behind them really. But I'll use my lollipop stick again just to curl them up. And I think they'll look really sweet on top of the gift boxes again. There's also two little hands as well, and I've die cut them out twice, so I'll add them together as well so that they're doubled up and they hold the bottom gift box. Now the die cuts are all complete, I'll start on the card front, and I want to make it look like an indoor scene with wallpaper and wooden floorboards. The easiest way to do this is to cover the front of the card with the piece I'm using as wallpaper. And then I can add some double-sided tape to the bottom of the card so I can add the floorboards. I've also cut a thin strip of white card as well so that that's going to be the skirting between the wooden floorboards and the walls. This will just give it a little bit more of an authentic scene feel to it. I find it easiest just to add to the card like this and cut around it, but of course you can use your trimmer and cut the measurements to whatever suits you as well. So I'll just add a little bit of glue and add the white strip, and then I can cut off the sides and then I can start adding the items. And I've just realized that I have some washi tape that has all these different artworks on there, and I just thought that might be really nice to put on the wall. This is from Journal Say, and I will have a link to it below just in case this is something that you might think is a great idea as well if you create scene cards. Or my plan is to use it for a gallery wall card at some stage as well. It's just a really interesting washi tape. So I'm just going to place all of the die cuts onto the card, and I won't take off the sticky back of the foam tape just yet. I want to make sure that I have everything in the right position, and I'm thinking that I'll move it all over to the left just a little bit so that I do have room to put a part of the artwork on the wall. I'm just using a very thin foam tape. I'll glue down the hands onto the bottom gift box, and that way I don't have to keep on trying to keep them in place. I like to use my craft knife to move fiddly detailed items like this. I find that's the easiest way for me. So now I've cut out that washi tape painting, and I'm just trying to decide where to put it and whether I should add it or not. And I think that if I use just part of it coming off the card, that will look the nicest. I also have these lace stickers as well, and I'm thinking one of those might go nicely as a frame around the painting. So I'm going to use one of those. It's not very realistic, but it will still look really cute on the card. So these have a sticky backing, so I will just take that off and I'm going to put it so that it looks like a frame. Because of the size difference, I'll just cut off the bottom of it and then I will match up the pattern so that it looks like it was always the same size as my picture. And seeing as it's just 2 washi tape, I'm just going to add some white scrap paper underneath it, just so that you can't see the wallpaper underneath. I don't think you'd be able to, but this just makes it more opaque. I'll add a little bit of glue to it and now I can't change my mind. That's it. It's got a painting on the wall. I'll chop off the overhanging parts once it's dried. When I'm gluing the boots and legs down, I'll just add the glue to the sides as they're the only bits that's going to touch the card. With the skirt, I'll add 2 thin foam tape layers to make sure the skirt doesn't get flattened. And I'll also add glue to the sides of the skirt and on the foam tape, and we can see it starting to take shape with all that dimension. So now I can take off the foam tape backings to add all the gift boxes, and for the bottom gift box I'm going to add 2 layers of foam tape so it juts out the same as the skirt does, and I'll add glue to the foam tape as this gives me time to move the gift boxes around should I need to. I want to add a sentiment, so I'm going into my ready-made sentiment box to see if I have anything suitable. And I find this silver celebrate die cut, which will be perfect, but it still needs another. And Uniquely Creative have these great sentiment sheets and a matching die that cuts them all out beautifully in one go. So I'll use this, and I also use this die for strips too sometimes. It gives a nice roundness to the sides, so much more professional looking than just cutting with a knife or trimmer. And thinking about it now, my skirting board would have looked so much nicer if I die cut it as well. So here's how all the strips are cut, and now to choose a birthday sentiment. I'll add foam tape to it and then I think that will finish the card. What do you think? Has this given you any ideas on some dies you have in your stash? Would you try this out? I hope it's helped inspire you in some way, and I thank you so much for watching. I'd love it if you gave it a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video, and I've picked winners as well, so let's see who's won the $15 vouchers to In Love Arts, and then we'll have some close-ups of these cards. And the first winner is Anne Paul. Congratulations. Let's pick another one. And the next one is Chriselle Rees. Congratulations. And the third lucky winner for the $15 vouchers is Thomas Archer. Well done, guys. I'll try to get in contact with you, but if you'd like to leave a comment so I know that you've seen this before I've even got in contact with you, that would be fantastic. So let's take a proper look at these cards, and I also have a bonus card to give you another idea on what you could do with adding gift boxes to your cards. And do you love all the dimension that this has given to it rather than being flat on the card? And would you have put the artwork on the wall or not? This one I didn't tell you, but it is Uniquely Creative papers, but it came from a beautiful Christmas card making kit called Aussie Noel, but it's sold out, so I didn't want to mention it too much. And this one is from some old papers as well, but it's just a really nice idea. I used some wooden paper and created what looks like a shelf. So again, if you liked this die set, I'll have a link to it below along with a code so you can get 25% off. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.